Ninjago sets and minifigures are very cool, but there are also ways for you to really mess them up. So in this video, I'm going to show you 10 things that Ninjago builders should not do, which ruin the minifigures, ruin the sets, or just don't look nice. Let's jump right in. The first thing has to do with your ZX armor pieces. You can slot 2 swords into them with this little edge pointing either way. In my opinion, however, there is really only one way to do this right. Obviously, you don't slot the swords in like this. The swords should be mirror images of each other, which leaves us with 2 scenarios, the short edge facing downwards or outwards. What you should do is this, with the edges facing outwards. The edges should not be facing downwards like this because it doesn't make sense. Think about it. If a minifigure were to try to reach over his shoulder to get the sword, if the edge is facing downwards, it would come out wrong. Even though in the boxes most of the minifigures carry the swords with the edge facing downwards, I still think it's better to have the edges facing outwards because that's how a minifigure would carry it in real life. For this second one, we're gonna go back in time to the final battle. Ironic, isn't it? Here's Kimono Zane in the character encyclopedia, and here's Kimono Zane in real life. Something is very wrong with his head wrap, as you can see. The gold on top is supposed to be one continuous 3-sided head protection gear thing, but instead the printing looks like it's been scratched off. And may I direct your attention to the emblems and buckles on his suit. It doesn't even look gold at all. It looks black. The one in the book is all gold. What I'm trying to say is that I think generally the gold printing on minifigures wears off easily. Just look at Zane. I really do not recall doing anything very drastic to him that would have caused this, so I would simply suggest that you take good care of your minifigures, especially those with gold printing. Don't expose them to dirt, don't leave them in your bag, and don't scratch them if you were ever thinking of doing that. If you still don't believe me about the gold printing, take a look at this Lloyd I have. This third one is probably easier for me to explain if I just show you. Yep, that's right. Loose legs, loose arms, and loose hands are something we want to avoid. Don't bend them excessively because they'll get loose. This is a general principle for all minifigures, but I think this is particularly important for Ninjago, because one of the best things you can do with Ninjago minifigures is to put them into cool poses. And if your joints are loose, they usually can't maintain the pose easily. So if you're putting a minifigure into, say, a Spinjitzu cone or to stand on a vehicle, do it gently, because if you try to push it down too hard, you could end up doing this, making the legs really loose. The fourth one is similar to the one I talked about just now. Basically, don't take out your minifigure arms. This is for the same reason. They could get really loose and you won't be able to do cool poses anymore. This is Kozu and this is Tournament Kai. I tried swapping their arms a while ago to see what Kai would look like with red sleeves, and look at Kozu's arms now. They're very loose. I don't know if this would happen to all minifigures, but it has happened to me at least once, so I would not risk it if I were you. Here is a really cool Tournament of Elements set. It has Karloff, Kai and Turner, and you can simulate some battles with these cool play features. But one day I decided to not let Kai fight all the time and put J. But I didn't have a J flag, so I peeled the Electromech logo and put it on this Lego Knights flag to make a J flag. But when I put it back onto the Electromech, it was so wrinkled and wasn't very sticky. The exact same thing happened to this sticker over here. So please, don't peel off stickers once you have pasted them, even if they're a bit misaligned. Once you stick stickers, you have to stick them on once and that's it, because if you peel them off, they will get wrinkled. And with Ninjago, a great thing you can do with sets is to leave them on display, but it might be ruined because of a single sticker. This next one is really specific to a certain kind of set, the spinners. In 2011, Ninjago released this amazing series of spinners that allowed you to battle out with your friends by simulating Spinjitzu. You could attach different weapons and play cards to and customize your spinner. A great concept. I have the 2012 Spinjitzu weapon pack that comes with 2 spinners and a lot of weapons. Something new that these 2012 spinners had were these holes where you can fit Technic pins, and they were used to attach some more blades at the bottom like this. And they looked really nice when you spin them. However, the problems come when you want to remove them. You see, they are very hard to remove without breaking them. I used to remove them by grabbing this section of the Technic pin, which is not very wise because they all broke. I now realize that instead you should grab them by this section here. So just to demonstrate to you guys, I'm going to have to risk another gray Spinjitzu pin by trying to take it out. Let's do this. Yes, we did it. The seventh item on the list is possibly an illegal building technique. Back when the original ninja hoods came out, they had this clip molded onto them where you could attach weapons, but katanas were a problem. If you attach them legally at the handle, they would extend too far out. But if you attach them at the blade, well, there wasn't anything wrong visually, but I believe that this is an illegal building technique because I don't think katanas were designed for that. Sure, they're the same diameter as the sticks meant to be attached to a clip, but if you try to actually do that with a clip, it can be quite challenging. You might feel a lot of resistance, and this means the katana is being stressed in a way it should not. So even if you don't have any of the original hoods, don't attach a katana to a clip like this. You might want to do this with this bracket and 1x1 square clip on minifigures. Fun fact, this can actually be seen on Lloyd in the Ninjago movie trailer in one scene. However, I would highly recommend that you don't do this because it could be illegal and break your katanas. This next one is another illegal building technique, and I'm sure of it. Don't put a sai into a skybound piece because it will damage the sai. It is very, very illegal. There's so much stress when you try to put the sai in, so just don't do it even though it looks nice. The ninth thing is really just a tip for when you're building your Ninjago figures. So when you want to put the head wrap onto the head, don't put the head into the head wrap first. Instead, put the head wrap onto the head after the head has been stuck onto the minifigure body. This is because you might end up misaligning the eyes with the opening in the head wrap. And you can't take it out with your fingers. Instead, you have to put the entire head back onto the body and pull out the head wrap like that. It's just a big hassle, so that's just a tip. And finally, for the 10th and final item, there's this. Nothing may appear wrong at first, but if you look closely, you can see that this hand is not completely attached to the staff, and that's the problem. If you want a minifigure to hold a staff piece with both hands, you can't have both hands facing the same direction. Let me show you. It just doesn't work. They need to be facing opposite directions like this. Only then will the staff fit on nicely. Yes, in real life and in the TV show, people hold their sticks with both hands facing the same direction, but hey, this is Lego and minifigures have very limited limb movement. This video really got me to think and confront my ugly past as a Lego Ninjago builder, so please like and subscribe. Comment down below which of these you like the most and any other things you think Ninjago builders should avoid. Thank you for watching and hope to see you next time. Gotta find a way to get Zane out of here.